was very stimulating. Not yet. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? Come in, Alexander. No, no, no. Not yet. Alexander. Not yet. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? It was very stimulating. Not yet. Alexander. No, no, no. Alexander. It was very stimulating. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? Not yet. Alexander. Not yet. Not yet. It was very stimulating. Not yet. No, no, no. was very stimulating. Not yet. Quite stimulating, wouldn't you say? It was very stimulating. Alexander. Come in, Alexander.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timelines Talks! Featuring guest musical performers, Metallica frontman, oh my, it's Stars and Garters. Also featuring, hey buddy, you're a tier 9. Look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, from Spreadsheet City, here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, to Timelines Talks, the premium #1 show for all things Star Trek Timelines, joined as always by my two fabulous co-hosts, Automaton 2000 and Stars and Garters. Gentlemen, welcome to another week in the life of Star Trek Timelines. How are we doing?
I'm impressed you're managing to get through that spiel better and better every time.
I'm getting good. I'm going to start mixing it up.
2-3 times, it's great.
Should set up a teleprompter for that.
Yes, but I'll have it behind me as well so everyone can join in. Karaoke, Timelines Talks Karaoke. This week we shall be talking about a variety of things that have happened in the game this week. We will be talking about the new EV suit collection. We will be talking about the event crew, the galaxy that is coming up. One thing we have to quickly plug, next week, would you believe it, is going to be our 6-month anniversary. Can you believe it? We've been doing it that long. Honestly feels like longer. Not in a bad way, but it just feels good that we've been doing it this long. For 6 long months I've been holding these two hostage to my whims.
So what's the 6 month? Is it pearl, gold? What's the 6 month anniversary?
Paper, isn't it? I don't know. Isn't it?
I mean, I don't know, for me it'd be like peace and good sex, but you know, I guess if you want different traditions.
No, paper, definitely. Mail you something for the anniversary, just open it up, it says, fuck you, Idol. You're like, oh, that's not very nice.
So just get it framed and have it on like behind him. It's like, this is from my very, very lovely co-host.
So yes, next week we're having our 6-month anniversary. We'll have a few little treats for you in that week. Also, before we go on, congratulations to the event winner for last week for the faction event. Congratulations to KM Klingon Marauders Mechalobe. So very well done for getting the #1 spot in that faction event.
Don't you mean the premium #1 exclusive spot?
Yes, the the indulgent spot, the one you don't want to miss.
I'm scrolling down the. You doing okay there? Did a bat fly into the room?
I think someone's Nokia 3310 is too close to the microphone.
I'm scrolling down the list, the top 50 from last week. I do recognize a few names, but no one that I know from the show. So if you were a watcher and you ranked and you wanted a shout out and we missed you,
Oh yeah, please.
then let us know by all means.
Let us know. Increase that
Speaking
participation.
Speaking of viewers whose lives we've enriched, our deepest apologies to 10F Henane1105. He messaged me after the stream last week and said, "You guys made my Celial Culber sound so good. He's a VIP 0 player. He pulled 4 packs for him and got 4 1701 Bashirs. So
Oh,
I feel deeply responsible for it. I've felt the burning shame all week, but
and that is
that's what
lot of
happens when you pull
dilithium for
packs.
someone who doesn't get
Rest
it
in
back. quick.
dilithium, my friend. Rest in dilithium.
Speaking of, Stephen is sitting in chat says, I think the 6-month anniversary is dilithium, and VBI School says it's a tribble. No, it's a tribble. The 6-month anniversary, you get a tribble. Why is my present purring?
So apparently I'm in the wrong slot. Apparently I'm in the middle.
Yes,
And
we've had a bit of a mix about. I need to.
freaking people out.
I finally worked out how to move orders, and it's to do with alphabetical in Discord. But we can, guys, you'll be okay. I'm over on
I
the
should
right.
log in next week is
I'm going to keep it fresh, keep it different every week. So, speaking of this week, we have had another brand new collection drop. We've had the Eevee Suit collection has dropped, and do you know what you can get for a mere 10 people with only a few? Also, tell me, how many golds do you need to complete this collection if you get every single super rare?
The number of successful dates I've had, 0. Sorry.
You're married.
That's true. I don't know how that.
He's like, these two facts don't necessarily conflict with each other.
I think Auto's on a different stream right now. How many golds do we need for this collection if you were to successfully have gotten every single super rare? Bearing in mind there is only, 13, 14 in the collection?
Well,
They're
there
very
are.
generous with what counts as an EV
That's
suit,
true.
aren't
They were true.
So there are 11 non-gold crew that qualify for the collection. There's also Eevee Suit Spock, which pretty good. Probably a lot of people already have him finished. There's Red Angel, who one would presume people would finish eventually, although luck is not with everyone. There's one other one on the list.
No,
Eevee Suit 7 of 9,
Yeah.
who a lot of people, if they did the campaign earlier this year, got 4 copies of. So it's not the toughest to complete, which some people were very glad that they can finish and complete it. I wish it was 20 or 25 crews, so you have something a little further to aspire to, but we just had that, I think, with Mirror Collections. So this one is sort of the other end of the teeter-totter, and it's a little something for everyone.
Yeah, because there are crew in the EV collection you actually want to finish. Mirror, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
and let's just, remember that a little while back we had a conversation about this very topic, and let me just play you a very small clip.
He's just doing the coin pose. You trace his head, you put that on a coin. There you go, perfect. That's Federation.
Oh, that's true.
currency.
Yeah, it's perfect. Silhouette profile.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to rain on some people's parade here, because we've had this is like our 3rd or 4th EV suit crew in a while, and people they heard I think it was Shan mentioned, we're gonna get a new collection, and everyone she said Mirror maybe, and then people were still like, maybe it'll be EV suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, will it? Will it be EV suit? Like what? I don't mean to like rain on people's parade because there was a trend.
We can will things into existence. We said honor sale, bam. 2 months later, honor sale. We can make things happen if you believe in yourself.
And believe in yourself, we actually did. So here it is, the EV Suit collection, as prophesized by yours truly here on the stream. It is here. The gang has added the EV Suit collection to the game.
I have to say before because I don't want to bury the lead. This is feel like a proud papa. We were told by a certain Wicked Realm game employee that the title of the Avian Suit collection, A Little Stroll, was in fact taken from our dear buddy Stars and Garters recommendation. So he is now forever immortalized in some way in the
Hey.
game. And I have to ask you, like the Vulcan computer in the movie said to Spock, how do you feel?
I'm so happy right now. No EV suit Wolf though. Ben, get on that shit.
Well, speaking of,
That was my best impression of like the audience for this game.
speaking of, so,
Not our audience. Our audience is lovely. Like
He's making demands now.
we can absolutely say. I mean, there are still.
I'm a mobile gamer. That's what I do.
There are still plenty of EV Suit crew we could still have. We could have EV Suit Garak. There's Tom and Balana from the episode where they get stranded in space. There's EV Suit Picard as well to go with EV Suit Worf. There's. I reckon we will see this expansion of this pack continue, and it is very nice to see that in a 1-5-10 pack that they actually added stats to it as well. So even if you get one, which you can get from the 3-star Commander Scott or EV Suit Tuvok, both in the portal, both very easy to get if you've not already completed them. You've got yourself, I think it's the engineering bonus straight away, and it's nice that they're putting stat boosts at that lower threshold.
I think that's consistent with the other like the racial type, Romulan, Cardassian, etc. So I think they're all 1-5-10 for the stat boosters. So
Yeah.
it's a nice little. I mean, even Mirror, even though it only has that one rare or lower crew, you can still get with a single low rarity crew that bonus. So I like that they did that. And there's sort of a gamut of crew. Red Angel and Breen Disguised Kira may not have been the first names that pop into people's heads when they think EV Suit, but they're quality crew. That's going to add a little bit of value, especially if they were to expand the threshold down the line. And then you have those really stinkers like Fezzik and Thought Gore, who and they each already had a collection, but beyond that, you weren't keeping them around for much. So
and there's a few sort of stretches in there as well, with like Breen Disguised Ducat and Breen Disguised Kira, which is like, and even Commander Scott is a bit like, well, it's kind of an EV suit. It's I suppose it could survive in space.
Yeah, because EV's meant to stand for extravehicular, and it's like, well, I don't think I'd want to go out in like space in what Scott is wearing, but to each their own.
But okay. So before we move on, and talk about the show. Shall we do something we have not done in quite some time? Let us have a quick beholder meter. Stars, can you provide us, please, with the sound? For those that haven't watched before, we will do it.
My good idol. All right, we ready?
Go on. For those that haven't watched before, we're going to do a fake behold using this wonderful generator we have here.
These tiny little light.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it is Gulma Dread, already immortalized. Ignore. Bridge Officer number 1, and for some reason 4-star Geordie LaForge. Let's roll that again.
Come on.
Now I know why we retired this feature.
Okay, this one's a little bit...
Wait to see Lucille Davenport in the next one.
Yeah, she's in there somewhere. Okay. No stars, Assimilated Hawk, EV suit. No stars, Captain LaForge. No stars, Elizabeth Denner. I think this one's a bit straightforward. To me, anyway. However...
Yeah, Elizabeth Denner, fantastic art. Iconic episode.
I do love the tinfoil eyes. Like, I took her in a behold over, I think, marginally better crew just because I do have an affection for the episode.
They're not really
Can
tinfoil.
anyone make
That's
an
not
argument
tinfoil,
for Geordie
is it?
apart from him being from Timeless?
Yeah. What's that combat?
It is a great episode, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's like when you do the Star Trek trivia, like which actors have appeared in X number of series, and of course Riker has shown up in a few, and Geordie has shown up in a couple. So,
but no, I think the winner here is definitely
for, like,
Hawk.
sheer number of episodes, it's Worf. But
yeah, that's true.
I just know that. That's just,
how do you know
that,
Worf trivia? That's so
I don't know. It's weird.
you.
Strange. Yeah.
It's like you're
It's
obsessed.
outside of my normal comfort zone, I admit.
I think the answer is Hawk. Okay, let's spin it again. Blip, 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 blip. Da, 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 da. Behind door number A, you could win
I think
One
Chad is going crazy for Hawk.
I
on
think
that one,
Hawk
by the
is
way.
the hot. As Skycap says, hot lips is cool, but Hawk is hot. Okay, 1 star for.
Honestly, 1996 era Neil McDonough does it for me. So,
Yeah, well, he's got very piercing eyes, doesn't he?
So 1 star on UFP President Red Foreman, no stars on The One Law, or 0 stars on former Tier 1 crew Mira Stamets.
Oh, fuck you. We were just talking about that, too.
How dare you? How dare you?
What tier is he now? Can you tell me?
5.
5.
I was
the
like,
mighty
yeah,
have
for the honor
fallen.
Suicide Pact, and I was like, well, you hurt the least. I think that's pretty much got to be a slam dunk for Stamets, right? Like Mirror Collection,
think?
disco events, a little bit of Eng-Med. Like, can you really tell me that Mr. Rigatoni is going to change my life?
I could see the argument for him just because of Diplomat, but I think mirrors sort of cancel it out because you do need 17 mirror golds compared to 22 mirror diplomat or
Yeah.
22 gold diplomats. So it's pretty close, and Stamets is better in every other conceivable way.
And not to mention, like, I remember you telling me about this with, like, Diplomats, is every time you immortalize a not-so-good gold for Diplomat, you're basically just renting out space for the next one. Like, we had 2 purple Diplomats in the Mega just gone. Whereas Mirror, they're adding a lot more slowly. Like, the last Mirror crew I think was added in the game was Mirror Chekhov, and he was in a 6-pack a while back, right?
Yeah, Chekhov. I think we had Mirror Kayla Detmer. I'm trying to
She's
remember
a
if we
while
had
back now.
About the same
anyone
time,
else
weren't
new. Oh, that's right. She was the rerun. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
So I think
so
is he the only mirror
cards
crew
added.
added this year?
I think so.
Very possibly,
It's
yeah.
been a bit of a weird. And the thing is, like, if we had like another Mirror Mega, that would change, obviously. But they're slowing down and adding them because now it's like the bit players. It's like your Mirror Quarks, your Mirror Odos. And it's like I wouldn't mind having those cards because it would be nice to have the full set. But in terms of who's being added quicker, Diplomat or Mirror, like Mirror is being added very, very slowly.
Well, then it's a good thing that chat voted for you to immortalize Usurper Lorca. I'm looking forward to doing that, stars. He's a mirror crew.
For anyone that was
singing
here
their
last
praises.
week and missed our honor suicide discussion, you're in for a treat. We'll come back to that a little bit later. All right, let's do one more spin before we talk
I've
about
decided I'm going to re-roll my account, so
Okay, one more spin and then we'll carry on with this week's event. Okay, 1 star on Frederick Leroux. Another 0 star The One Law, or 0 stars on Commodore Robert April. This is a tough one. Well, okay, it is tough, but it's also horribly sickening because you would want to just put the star on Frederick just to go, oh my god, that's...
Would you?
No, actually, I wouldn't. I would
No?
put Law. I'd take Law.
You would take Law,
I'd take
please.
Law.
Tell me.
I
why.
would take Law because he does count for Borg events. He's a tiny bit of Command Eng. He's really bad and old now. I also have an affection for Law just because Brent Spiner chews the scenery like nobody's business every time he gets to act like him. It's great fun watching him. Like, that's
yes.
purely the reasons. Like,
I had to look up Leroux's
Leroux.
stats because I knew he's a good shuttler. That's fine.
Yeah,
but
he does have some
the
ample
question
bases.
naturally that follows is for what shuttles. So Gambler, Scoundrel, and
Linguist Mega! Linguist!
Sato is going to knock it out of the park.
Hey, that would include Professor Sato, would it not? Though, so that would yeah. No,
Wait,
I mean,
so
if you were going to
remember
put,
we-
if it was a faction event with a linguist, that's who you want.
Remember we had that Enterprise Mega, and it was like her first bonus in like 2 years, and we're like, yay! And she got like one faction in that forms.
Yeah, well, let's be real. She's been in every faction for the past
Yes,
single
yes,
one
that's
since.
true.
So actually,
That's but I mean, come on. If you can multiply that base, that is pretty massive. She's like pulling 5-seaters to 95% on her own with a bonus.
Yeah.
the chat is all saying Ducat, and it's like, guys, why?
Take the star. Well, this is the mantra. ATS always take the star, which maybe I mean, definitely would take the star here, and rather than crowd up my crew slots with 2 bad options, even with Borg for Law, okay, but when am I going to use a 1 of 5 over one of the many 5? Just personally, one of the many 5/5s I have that could probably do better without the bonus.
So what do you think of it as, because you're saving the crew slot, if you take Ducat, you also get 300 dilithium added to your account, which is the price of a discounted crew slot. Would you take Leroux if it was Leroux plus 300 dil?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess, but I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't be happy about it. Like, I feel like lore is like, I don't know. I like that lore. I like the art on him. The bodysuit is pure '90s to me. He's a bit of a Power Rangers villain. I know. I dig it.
Which is isn't the building they go to also in the Power Rangers? Isn't that the same?
I
am very certain.
I wish where Zordon lives.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, having watched TNG and the Power Rangers at about the same time is a bit like, hang on a minute.
You know, we do have humanoid figure. That's basically Star Trek Zordon. Right?
Oh, there's a theme for a future episode.
Starfleet officers with attitude.
Okay, all right.
We'll come back to this because
We will. There'll be some more beholds later. Okay, this week we have a Galaxy event coming up with Maquis Takeover Seska, not Marquis Teska Cakeover. The legendary crew Command Cakeover. Which is weird if you think about Keiko O'Brien, and there's Keiko over. No, anyway. Command Engineering Sec for her skill order, and quite a beefy one, Voyager number 67. Oh, you know, I mean, everyone knows how I feel about Galaxy events. I absolutely hate them, and this is making me tempted to go and get her, just because I haven't listed it, but her traits are a little bit nice.
Yeah, we were looking at her and we're thinking. I think you said that this is like the best possible trait set you could want out of an event card, especially for a command primary. Like this is like a really she's stacked, not just because she's Martha Hackett, but she's stacked.
Well, let me run it down. So when we think about what is a good trait for possible event future, you think first bonus size. If it's got 500 crew like human, it's obviously not going to get an event. So a bunch of her traits are in good size. A bunch of them are racial: Bajoran, Cardassian, Maquis. 3 of them have already. I guess you can count hologram in that. Doc would tell you that they are indeed a race. 3 of them have already had events before, and we went through and looked. Her command base would rank number 1 in what is she?
Right?
Yeah, in 6 of the 7 of the 8 trades, she's number 1. Some of them by hundreds of points. So she not only has a great trait set for events, she has a great skill and power level to participate in those events. So yeah, I mean, you think Seska, you know, she's no Kirk or Dax. She's not going to get 3 events automatically a year, but those traits are so juicy. They're also great for voyages too, where if you look at the other crew available for Command Eng in some form, there are a few names that you probably know. Admiral Forrest and Queen Poe, which she is sandwiched between in Voyage Score, are both former campaign crew. Laborer Kirk recently in the giveaway is right near the top, and then Determined Janeway has a little bit of Command Eng there too. So you probably have been getting by fine, and she wouldn't make a world of difference, but between the great traits, the good base, the good voyage, it all sort of melts together and make a very solid crew. Probably the best one we've had in like 4 months for events, because we were looking back and we're in quite a drought.
I was gonna say,
yeah, no, we were looking over the mega, and it's like,
I mean,
blows the pants off all of them.
Looking back over just when we've spoken about, you know, featured crew, the 5-star 1/500 on this show, like we haven't had many times where we said, oh yeah, actually, like regardless of the fact we're going to get them a 1 of 5, yeah, I kind of want them. And even so, like I've been talking to you guys on chat and a few others, it's like it's gonna be another 1 of 5, but like no, actually, this might be the one you want, because this is going to be.
This might be one worth actually citing because she's got good long-term.
Bearing in mind, all our sites are lined up for the next 5 years. But oh shit, kick him a light.
Yeah, true. That's all right. And it's like for a bit of context, chat, we were talking about her, and then we were thinking, we were looking at Cayman Picard, who was like a tier below her, and we were going, why is he so low? And I was looking at his event count, and I realized, oh yeah, Picard's that weird character where half of his variants are all from packs. So if you look at Picard's event count, it's 13, and he's got 24 variants or something ridiculous like that. Maquis Takeover Seska is qualified for the exact same amount of events. So 13 and 13, and I would actually bet on her going ahead over a Picard, honestly, given how he hasn't had a show Omega materialize, and they seem to just keep on shoving every variant into packs. Like,
is this going to be another clip for a Sunny in Philadelphia after we get like 4 Picard megas in a row?
You know what? If they do that, I'm fine with that because that means that between all those megas, I'll get all of my Rios holograms, and then I'll be happy.
Who would be the recurring for a next Picard mega? Is it going to be number one? Oh no.
So okay,
We already have number one.
this is a radical idea, and probably most people would hate it. But what would you think if they did a mega, and each week you got a different gold at 25,000, and each of them were a different hologram of Rios?
Oh no, I would love that.
That would eat 4 crew slots. You
Oh,
wouldn't be
no,
able to
that'd be
fuse them as
good.
easily, but you have a greater variety, and it would be something new. Is that something like
If
crazy?
I could just get
or-
I
drunk-
would actually love that.
Yeah, if I could get drunk tactical hologram Rios, the one that's just sitting over at the control panel speaking, I think it's Spanish, and just look around and go, "Il Dios míos."
Honestly, that's my favorite part of Picard was when Raffi sat them all down and was trying to get them to give her the beans and going, you know this, you know that, and then getting the full story. And it's like that was my favorite part of Picard,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I love that.
That and like the final episode.
He is such a
like,
good actor. Like, you know,
He's a
you
really
kind of
good
do
actor.
separate the roles from when he's playing Rios to any one of his holograms, because it kind of confused me at first, because the first one we meet was Rios, and then you meet his, what was it, his sort of like...
medical.
Yeah, his medical one. I'm just like...
He's got the British accent.
Yeah, I was like, hang on,
He's
is
like
this the...
aggressively
Oh, yeah. Took a little while to work out that, oh, yeah, shit, is the... But no, yeah. No, I'd
Yeah.
love that. That's
So,
a great idea.
WRG Ben, if you're listening, I would absolutely love that hologram idea. Like, it would eat crew slots, but screw it, it's fun. I want more fun stuff like that. And,
So
and
he-
we haven't really had an innovation on a mega like that in a while.
He's grabbed the whiteboard eraser and he's removing Midwife Worf, and he's adding Rios to the list.
He was never going to add him anyway.
Okay.
He wants to tease me with that until the game shuts down. Midwife will be like the last one added.
Hold on, now. We have a lot of Seska yet to go, so
That's
let's not
true.
get too
And
far down the garden path.
Speaking of, Paul Need just asked, is Seska decent in Gauntlet? I don't think she has... Oh, sorry. I don't think she has quite the
Yeah, it's
proficiencies to
pretty
do that.
unimpressive.
No.
Impressive.
However,
No.
I believe Voyagers is her.
She's a
absolute
pretty
A-game.
complete package almost everywhere else. Like, she's no good
Yeah.
in ships, she's no good in Gauntlet, but
Now,
events, voyage, base, she's got it.
we've
and
been
collection value
talking,
as well.
yeah, we've been talking collections. Cardassian may get expanded, but she also has Bajoran, Maquis, and Hologram as sort of racial traits. So we're 2 months in a row now. I'm hoping the collection train don't stop. And if we get a few more, I could definitely see one of those racial traits being added. So that would help
Maquis-
out a little bit. Most of them have pretty awful golds. Bajoran has a few good ones because of Cisco and such, but Maquis is
There's
it's
enough
like
for Maquis,
Chakotay
definitely.
and no one else. So it's a death
Yeah.
sentence. So, and speaking of Seska traits, we had a write-in complaint. It was worded so nicely. I told him to dirty it up a little bit, but he didn't want to do it. From DC Pilot, who was with us last week on the show.
Number 2
And he
Faction
has a-
Award winner.
Sorry, I will pay penance later on. And he has a bone to pick with whoever picked the traits because Saboteur is missing. So let me read what he says and then we can unpack that. DC Pilot says, I'm very excited about the card. I wish I'd been able to make this edition of Timelines Talks to gush about how fun this variant is, as well as how good her card is in game. To give credit where credit is due, she's got a great trait set, and the traits she has are all appropriate for the character. However, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that she should have a Saboteur trait as well. Well, it was obviously the real unseen Seska who reprogrammed / sabotage Tuvok's program as part of the backstory for the episode. I think the hologram Seska represented by this card can legitimately be said to be a saboteur as well. She kills holographic Janeway with a malfunctioning phaser rifle, stalks Paris and Tuvok in the Jeffries tubes, creating obstacles like a plasma fire, and generally wreaks havoc on Voyager both inside the holodeck and out before Tuvok outsmarts her. And while we're adding traits, how about romantic for that kiss she shares with holographic Chakotay? So
Now, I hate to call out our faction winner, DC Pilot. He's a very handsome man. He's very lovely. We had him on last week. But I was pulling Pact the other day, and I got Augment Commander O'Brien, and I was like, oh, he's a saboteur. And he was like, oh, I didn't know. And it's like, oh, fake fan confirmed then. This is a fake fan then. So, sorry to call you out, Pilot, but...
Oh, right. Next week, Pilot is coming back on to rebuke those claims.
yeah, the next time on Showdown is going to be Pilot versus Stars.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We can
So
set that up. There's got to be something we can do there.
So I did
It's
watch
all.
the episode today, worst case scenario, and I agree 100%. She is a saboteur. She does sabotage stuff inside the holodeck and out the malfunctioning phaser rifle. She like cuts off access to the holodeck and all that stuff. So she is missing it. Um, but that's one in a list of a billion missing traits throughout the character. So I can't complain too much. She does have maybe the best trait set for events that I've ever seen. It's a shame she doesn't have a little more gauntlet power because
Hmm.
it's always fun to play with different trait sets and stuff. But like you were saying, I am in a quandary too because I want this crew, but I'm saving up for a big skirmish rank, and this is a galaxy. So
Mm.
supplies are tight. I've yet to decide, but I'm in the same quandary as you,
I
Idle.
mean, guys, if you don't want to go for it, it just makes it easier for me.
As that person that got to 1501 would be very happy about that. But,
Yeah.
I probably will. I haven't ranked in a galaxy for quite a while. I believe it's probably time. I've got the crons to do it. It's just I can't stand galaxies. There's so much tap. Like I don't mind skirmishes, a lot of tapping, but at least I'm getting something out of it, like Hon-or through. But galaxies are just like I'm putting my resources into something. But yeah. Anyway, the other reward you can get this week is, which you will get 4/4 if you can get to at least 130k rank, is Cyrano de Barclay. The actor himself has appeared in many holodeck productions all over the Alpha Quadrant. Yes, another Barclay variant. Command Dip Engineering, super rare. Not too essential for most people, but guys, please break them down for me.
So I have to point out, like, it feels like people who write Star Trek know like 5, 6 books. Like, if you watch every Star Trek series, it's like you're gonna get Shakespeare, you're gonna get Sun Tzu in multiple, and then one of the other ones they love to riff on is Cyrano de Bergerac, because they do it here, and they do almost the exact same thing in oh god, it's the one where Quark and Grill could hook up, and then like Jadzia is like, "Hey, Worf, fuck me, please." And Worf's
Looking
like,
for
I
all
don't
the
understand.
looking for the par mark in all the wrong places.
That's the one. Thank you. And so they loved riffing on this concept. And to be fair, I think that every time they do it, it's a bit of good fun. And this is a card for fun.
Yeah.
This is a fun card. Like, he's got the extended nose. It's always nice to have a Barclay card. He's one of those like lovely. He's one of those lovely secondary characters. I was watching First Contact last night and seeing his cameo, and that was great fun. He's a bit of a wet blanket in terms of stats. Like, he hasn't got a particularly good base. He hasn't got particularly great traits. He's got +1 innovator, which if you need that, then great. But I don't think you probably do by this point. And Barclay events are very infrequent, but he's fun, and therefore get him.
Yeah, so he's Voyage 123 among super rares. What is it like 550 overall? Now we often talk lots of stat ranks and it can get lost. The point is there are 550 crew infused who are better than him on voyages. Now we are 5 years into the game, and certainly for new players it helps to get the 4 stars. But at that rank, you can cross him off the list for voyages. So it does boil down to, like you said, few events. This will be his 4th in the history of the game. So about 1 a year. That's not completely dead, but like Picard, he has more variants than he does events at this point. 6 variants. We probably get a few more maybe from his Voyager appearances and stuff. But yeah, his biggest perk would seem to be the collection spot. But even that, it's a 25 threshold, and we have 36 non-gold innovators. So he's not necessary for that either. So if you're not a big Galaxy fan, you want to save your resources for leveling your crew, I could see passing on him in this case. But if you're early on, it's always good to get a 4/4. You'll get that 4th copy from Galaxy Community Rewards. So yeah, he doesn't do it for me,
Yeah.
but the fun factor's there. I like the
Yeah.
Barclay character. Who
Yeah.
can't like the nose?
It's a cool
There's
card,
no
definitely a
two
cool
noses.
card.
And if Innovator does get expanded down the road, then he'll come
That's
in.
true.
Like, it's not impossible.
I could see it. I mean, they did Diplomat. I could see them doing Innovator and Veteran, and those ones you haven't looked at for a long time. It would be nice.
So I do this. Do you guys do this where you collect as many, even if you already have the collection done, just keep collecting it and hope it'll be expanded down the line? Are you guys
To be
doing that?
fair, I've
Absolutely.
not actually looked
Absolutely.
at those collections since I finished them, so I'd be intrigued. I should look and see. I'd be intrigued to know how many I've got past the surplus, but yeah,
I bet you that paid off real well when you were getting to the Vulcan and Diplomat collection.
Which actually, I've just completed Vulcan. I'm very happy about that. EV Suit Spock took me over the line, so I've got that plus 1% diplomat, which got me 3 points extra in
Hey.
Voyagers. But it
Think of the
counts.
spreadsheets.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
those
very
single
good, updated.
spreadsheets.
Oh, just going to mine and just clicking that one. Oh, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Your super rare ranked reward this week is another Doctor. The artwork I put up last week that I've correctly put up this week. Author Doctor, Dipmed 2 Skiller, which some people might shirk at, but he actually does have some use, even though, in the super rare leagues, that is going to be some use, especially considering the Doctor is a bit of an event horse himself.
Yeah, no, and especially since Robert Picard, I believe, is signed on for Picard season 2, so you might end up seeing a tick up and up in that thing. So he got writer, hologram. I think he still counts as musician for a Doctor variant. I think musicians had a few events down the road, and honestly, you can do worse than collecting Doctor variants. They just seem to be a bit of a collection magnet. Obviously, he's not going to do anything for you on Voyages. I don't think he's particularly gauntlet capable either, but. You could do worse. And not to mention, that's a great. Speaking of great episodes, that's a really fun one. Still waiting for the full raft of Lieutenant Marseille, Lieutenant Torres, and
if we want Paris, not Paris variants like Lieutenant, Cadet Locarno, yeah, we could have Lieutenant Marseille there as well, just for a pointless Paris.
So that reminds me, since I didn't see worst case scenario today, there are a few more cards you get from that. You have. If they did Maquis Takeover, Chakotay, he's in the Maquis uniform on the bridge after he mutinies. And then Paris says...
Is that not the same as Maquis Chakotay, the 1-star?
Is it?
Maquis Chakotay
is that
from Caretaker.
That's what I was
thinking. I think it's
from
the same
thing.
Yeah, the first... I'm looking at it now, and no, that's a different episode. I think that's from the pilot. But Paris has that uniform. He's also in one of those gold engineering. I think he's an ensign at the beginning of the... So they do they like these holodeck gone awry collections, right? We have the Bashir one. We could do maybe Killing Game. There's a ton of those variants.
Killing Game, so many.
So there's a
Year
few
of
from
Hell.
the Seska episode, and then there's a bunch we could get from the Author Doctor holodeck episode too. So he has 3 collections, including Diplomat, which sort of makes him a must grab if you can.
I forgot Diplomat. Jesus, wow, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, and that still needs over 20 gold, so you need every purple you can get.
Wood says in chat Wood says in chat he helps towards Lucille. I don't think is he a holodeck enthusiast?
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Okay, sorry, I glazed over that. So he's got the collection value there.
He was pretty enthusiastic about holodeck.
He was. Well, so was Cyrano de Barclay, and he's not in that collection. So I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
It is really odd that they picked the least holodeck obsessed Barclay for that collection. It's
I know
the weirdest thing.
He's like a recovering addict now in the future, and he's got his life together. They're like, yeah, we'll use that one for his
He doesn't
addiction.
even stutter anymore. You
I
remember
know.
that bit in Endgame where is it the Doctor is you're stuttering, Rage. You haven't stuttered in years. And this is Barclay at the height of his power and composure. That's the one you decide to put in holodeck enthusiasts.
I will say to put a capstone on this, Author Doc, this will be his 8th event, but only 2 of them have been factions, so you haven't had a lot of chances to freeze docs to this point. Ironically, this is Author Doctor's 3rd event feature, so third big bonus. That's more factions than he has. So probably this variant is more useful than your average run-of-the-mill doc in terms of events, but...
And not to mention that smoking jacket. That's pretty impressive.
It's good art actually for the old art style. If you sort of compare sort of new and old art styles, with the bigger sort of embossed sort of sides, this is actually one of the better ones as opposed to.
I'm trying to think. Do we have any crew? Martia comes to mind. Sorry, Marshall, for you weird Brits. How many crew have smoke in their art? Smoke, it's in your...
Is there someone from the big... No, from Bada Bing Falcon?
There's Martia.
No,
she's holding the... Oh, is it Anastasia Komononov?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's holding it. I don't see smoke, though. This is a very obscure thing.
Well,
It's not going anywhere.
Would Tommy Gunn Dixon have smoke in his art? Because he's firing a machine gun.
True.
Let me look.
Compare to smoke.
These are the things we obsess about. On this
No. Just the flash.
Sorry,
but no smoke. All right,
Okay.
Anyway,
Moving
so
on.
if we ever get a smoking collection, it's Martia and no one else.
The Jim Carrey mask collection. Yeah, okay. All right. Speaking earlier, we were talking about the EV Suit collection. This week's Tuesday pack came with a brand new 5-star AG Robinson, not to be confused with previous Terry Hatcher appearance BG Robinson. No, we have AG Robinson. I'm really looking forward in 3 months' time to seeing CG Robinson.
CG Robinson.
You saw
I
that
knew
one
that was coming. Yeah.
This week, Ensai Command, guys. I already know the answer to this. Are you digging into the throes of a Tuesday 6-pack for what I believe is a pretty low-ranking Voyager?
I do believe he is the single worst Voyager that has ever debuted.
Yeah,
right? In terms of like a golds, I don't know about maybe 4 stars. There's some worse, but I know for golds he's the worst Voyager that ever debuted.
Well, we looked at this. Well, for 4 stars, it's a given because you're adding so many crew. Like even Alton Sung at number 1, has debuted at what number 350 or whatever because of all the golds ahead of him. But yeah, we looked at this earlier this week. And the previous lowest one in rank 170s was Imprinted Archer, who has a great skill set, but he's so lacking in power that until you get those final stars, he may not do much. So he debuted in the 170s, and A.G. Robinson 247. So he's like 70 Voyage ranks below the worst gold to have ever debuted. So he is essentially a 2-skill crew. So that's sort of the mindset you have to think of when you're going into this. If you get all 5 stars, fine. Maybe he makes 1 or 2 combos, but that's like the worst investment you could make if you're going at him just for Voyages.
You're saying he's got a decent base pair, but his secondary is atrocious. Like his end side base is number 17. I can't think of many goals that debuted with bad Voyages and bad bases. Usually you kind of get one or the other, not both.
And what a bad bases mean? Bad prizes.
He looks like a 2017 crew to me. Like these, because we were looking at a crew like Phoenix Cochran and Traveler and old like 3-4 year old Eng crew, and like his numbers they're like pretty close to theirs. So
now, gentlemen, I have a theory. Do you think that his poor voyage rank might be a reference to the fact that this man died before he ever got to voyage outside the solar system?
Oh, that is a link.
That
is deep stat analysis. That is.
That's the premise of the
You
episode.
were beaten to the punch by Captain Archer, so therefore you're a bad Voyager. That is why Imprinted Archer was such a better debut. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
So Cadet First Class Nicholas Locarno, who had his team mutiny on him and admit in front of the tribunal that they were guilty, he has 1,300 command. So I don't think it always lines up to their in-game.
I thought you were about to say he has a better Voyager skill.
Almost.
He probably does, actually.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. No, he's fairly terrible. But nice art, nice actor, good episode. That was the episode
it's a
where
good episode, actually.
It was the flashback episode in season 2, which the name escapes me. First Flight. With
First Flight, yes.
Yeah, where sort of they go back to when Archer was competing for the prize of captain of the Enterprise, I believe it was, and they were. Oh no, the captain of the first Warp 2 vessel, wasn't it?
Basically, he and Robinson were competing to be the first man to break the Warp 2 or Warp 3 barrier.
Right, yes.
And it actually ties a lot more into what Enterprise was originally meant to be. Because if you look back at what Enterprise was meant to be back when they were still coming up with the idea, it wasn't meant to be called Star Trek. It was meant to be just called Enterprise.
Yes.
And the first season was just going to take place entirely on Earth and be just about assembling the crew, getting the ship ready, and then it was going to end, like season 1 was going to end, and then the ship would launch. And then everyone at UPN, in their infinite wisdom, decided, screw it, no one likes the right stuff, no one likes astronaut stuff, just do Voyager plot lines we did 4 years ago again. Get them out there! And then, so this is more of a tie back to what Enterprise was kind of meant to be. And you get to see Trip and Archer meet for the first time, and you get a few good Trip moments in that episode as well. So it's a really fun watch. Bad card for the episode, but good. If you want like a good Enterprise episode, go watch that one. That one's worth watching.
Definitely.
I have this weird link in my head. I don't know why, because I haven't seen that Enterprise episode in quite a while. or to be fair, this other one that I'm about to mention. But I have this weird link in my head between A.G. Robinson and Zephram Cochrane from TOS, where he's basically a stranded
Oh wow.
pilot.
Mm.
You know, it's like two kind of failed pilots. I don't know why it's stuck in my head, but
Well, they are also wearing bright orange, aren't they?
I
'Cause
think
remember
I think
that
it's the orange jumpsuits.
TOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're
God
going to count
knows
that
how
as
they
an EV suit,
reconcile.
but
Oh yeah, I got you.
I don't.
I don't know why we don't have TOS Cochrane yet, where he magically unaged 40 years and became way
And,
younger
and suddenly changed body tone and was incredibly sexist all of a sudden, despite
I hope
despite
somebody
everything
got
Emily
fired
Sloan.
for that blunder.
Oh,
Gene
good. God bless.
Roddenberry spinning in his grave.
God bless the old misogynistic era of Star Trek. Okay, shall we move away from these terrible
Well,
Guys?
hold
Go
on now,
go on.
because the rest of his pack is pretty interesting.
It
I think
is.
you have the
Let's
art for
bring
it.
that
Yeah,
up.
you threw
Yeah,
it
hang
up
on. I'll bring
earlier.
it back up. Hang on.
Now, to my knowledge, this is the only pack since I've started playing that I remember where all the purples are not in Portal. Two
Chekhov
of them are
is.
from this.
No, is Chekhov?
I don't believe he is.
Oh gosh,
no.
no, he
No,
probably
I don't
isn't.
think he is. He's relatively recent, actually.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like a
you're
2019
right.
card, so no, he wouldn't be in the pool.
Yeah, I think he's late 2019, and the other two were this year, including
6-pack only Pike.
Yeah.
yeah, 6-pack only. And then EV Phlox was in a recent event, which I think was either a faction or skirmish, because I have him sitting
Yeah.
at 3 of 4. So this is another one of those kind of no lose packs. Either you get a new crew, you get a simulated Hawk, who is very good crew. EV Suit 7 is not
Not
stellar,
so
but
good, but if you
one star
got
was
from a
gone
campaign, it's a lot of
yeah.
star. Yeah.
And then these 3 purples who are not in the portal. So this might be a deceptively good pack if people want to take a few dips. Although, as I'm saying that, I'm having flashbacks to poor Henning pulling 4 Bashirs in a row. So.
Yeah, but this time if he
Well,
pulls it, he's getting 4 A.G. Robinsons in a row, which is probably just as bad.
That's probably worse. Yeah. Yeah, I took a few cracks at this pack because I wasn't playing the game for the period where EV Suit Phlox and EV Suit Pike turned up, and they're both some of my favorite characters. Like Phlox is one of my favorite Star Trek Doctors, and Pike is my man crush. So I was very, very happy to see these two because, like, well, I can't lose really. And 4 out of 4 Pike and 3 out of 4 Phlox later, I'm quite happy. I didn't get any of the goals. I would have loved that last star on 7 or another star on Hawk, but these are the breaks, and you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, I say if you're looking purely at the super rare crew, I mean, Pike is actually a decent super rare card to have, and with Disco Season 3 coming up, it'll probably count for the Disco. I believe he has the Disco hidden trait. And if you're still waiting on that Phlox and all that, I believe Chekhov was also, if you've already got him sitting around at 3 or 4, I cannot remember that far back. Even though it was only 6 months ago or 9 months ago, whenever that was. Oh, probably a year ago, since you're saying 29. Where has this year gone? What's happened?
You know exactly what's happened.
I know exactly what's happened. Paul needs says 7 is the portal. Yeah, we were saying it was only the super rares we were talking about. Obviously, Hawk and 7 are both in the portal. But yes, no, it's a good pack. Like, despite the gold, it is actually a fairly decent pack for a Tuesday.
To meet our weekly quota of whining, I'll just point out that we are close to the time since the last portal update is approaching twice as long as any previous period in history. So they haven't updated in like almost a year.
That'll be a Christmas present.
Yeah. I mean, they may do it for Christmas. They may do it for the 5-year anniversary. But as of now, yeah, having so many crew in the portal, you may not see them for a while. So
it is a weird sort of idea because how many times can they just keep updating the portal before it just dilutes itself into uselessness? Because for the people that like you re-roll or you start a new alt or you're a new player, you're going to try and get these golds and you just can't because you're just going to be hitting more and more sort of crew that are going to fill up in your crew slot, which a lot of people, myself included, are having. I believe, I suspect that the reason they're taking so long to do this is because they might be thinking of some other way of looking at it, but I would hope so anyway, because you can't just keep updating the portal and diluting it. We're hitting 1,000 crew within the next few months, like 1,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so the only real way I can see of doing it is like picking maybe like a cut-off point of maybe all the golds that were at launch and all the purples that were at launch are like they are phased out of the normal portal, and then they'll just put on voyages. They add that pool, or some. I think people have been talking about like decrepit legendary systems on the forums for quite some time now, and originally I didn't kind of see the point. I was like, well, you can get golds relatively easy if you pull enough packs, or you just wait long enough for the event to turn up. But now we are getting to the point where if you want a particular gold, either because you want that stat combo, or because you want a collection spot, or because you just like the character, you have to wait a long time and you have to get lucky.
I think this is our third week in a row talking about this. But, I mean, it's a big deal because
yeah, it's not
for
just
a lot
us.
of us opening packs, and getting new crews like the whole fun. But I think my choice of fix would be seasonal packs. Like maybe either you do it calendar year or break it up into 3 groups
That'd be cool.
and throw old ones in the honor hall. Because they've added this new deal switcher where they have 3, sometimes 4 deals up at once, and I like it less than I did when it first came out
Oh.
because it's a lot of pop-ups. But what I do like is scrolling through the time portal, which is where that stuff that's its home. That's where it's meant to be. I love scrolling through, and on Friday you see 2 discount packs and the Tuesday pack and the event pack and this and that. And I like having all that choice. So if they maybe threw some old by date, like you go to the store and they throw the stuff near expiration date on sale, and they'll put it in its own spot. I wouldn't mind seeing those.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a seasonal pack in the honor hall, because then you can go.
Someone picks up A.G.
can-
Robinson. Oh, he's going off in 2 days. Quick, chuck.
So I would like to see it.
A.G. Robinson milk is turning into cheese.
Get
I
that
would
cheese
like
to
to
sick
see
bay.
it available all the time. Whether
Sorry,
or not they
Oliver.
discount it is up to them, but I think that would
Yeah.
fit. If not in the honor hall, then maybe even its own tab where it's just older packs, maybe rotate them, whatever. Just
I think one of the
Yeah.
nicer
you
things
can't,
I've
you can't have
seen.
1,000 crew in the portal. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
I think one of the nicest things I've
also,
seen.
kinda-
Sorry, Stars, go on.
No, there you go.
Okay. One nice thing I've seen lately is in the megas they've actually discounted from $4.90 to $3.90, and that seems to be a permanent change because it happened sort of in the middle of the mega before last, and this mega it was confirmed this is happening. So that's kind of introducing a sort of a lower kind of dilithium point. Is it's a nice little incentive, especially if they're going to throw goals where people think, oh, I've got them, like myself included. Oh, I've got them at 3 or 5. I'll just put a few in and get the last 2 stars. So I think little things like that, or little sort of ways of introducing goals they might have forgotten about, or might be harder to focusly get that you can't get in packs anymore, might be sort of a way of sort of looking at that.
Now I'm glad I let you go first, because pursuant to that fact, they threw up it was the Bridge Officer #1 event, I believe, pack that they threw up.
Yes.
It was at $4.90, I believe.
Mm.
And I was like, I've got a 3 out of 5. I like the card. I like Romic and Moronja, and I like my disco cards. And I was like, what? Screw it. I've got a little bit of Dilethon to throw in. And in the time it took me to get my 2 Bridge Officer #1s, I got like 3 or 4 golds, and I had such a better ratio doing that
Yes.
than I had with any of the 10 times packs I've done over perhaps a past year.
Like
And
the
I
one,
got it at such a discounted rate, and I managed to aim for a card I actually wanted.
this is the thing, because when you pull on a full 90, okay, you're going to get the same straight drops, but the straight drop you're going to get because it's going to be the featured super rare. So you kind of at least know, right, I know who I'm going to get. They're honor anyway. Whereas like, even if you kind of get a straight drop, you're like, oh Christ, there's none of them. Oh, it's and okay, this might be sort of more a longer term player problem. Anyone starting new or anyone in VIP 0 that've got those goals to fill, that kind of, okay, that very much sounds like old player problems, but
It's the Stellarizers in chat. She's like, I'm on my 3rd Ilea probe immortalized. Swimming in gold.
too right.
I don't even know if you'd go that far.
The Dilton Bombshell. Well, she does have 2 variants, which
She does somehow.
I forgot she had a 4-star variant.
She
My
does.
oath of
Pack
celibacy
only.
is on record, Captain. It's like, it's okay.
yes, 70s, yes.
That's the line you pick. That's the one line
The
you pick from all of
golden age.
Ilea's.
I mean, what else does she say? Like, I think she goes on about
That's
the
a
Deca
good
unit
point.
a while, but it's like,
The-
I rewatched the motion picture not a week ago, and yeah.
oh yeah, your weekly rewatch, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think we've waxed lyrical about this long enough. Shall we do
Speaking
a
of packs,
quick...
can we do another Beholder meter?
That is exactly what I was going to say. Shall we have a quick spin, please, Stars? Open up your tricorder of love. It's not a euphemism.
His name is Mr. Tricord.
Mr.
You will
Tricorder.
respect him.
Life forms. Okay. Talking, this machine knows. EV suit assimilated Hawk, 0 stars. Klingon bride Jadzia, 0 stars. Or Ari bin Bem, 0 stars. I would just like to preface, I've watched Ari's episode recently on Taz. It's a weird one, but if I've watched all of Taz recently, you should all watch it. If you've not, it's brilliant in a weird way, but it is good. But he's a weird one. He's not at all like he looks at his art. He's a bit of a strange creature. Anyway, yes.
Well, they had to do a lot of cleanup on that 1970s animation. So.
Oh, they did. And if you're like me and you think, hang on, that artwork looks broken. No, that's what he looks like. He can detach his body. Now
Yeah,
I can already see Stellar Ice in chat.
Through a bunch of shrubs and stuff.
I can already see Stellar Ice in chat going, Jadzia.
Well, I can see going any which way with this because that Jadzia has like a decent bit of gauntlet use. She's got a ton of traits. She counts as playing on. Bem is a bit of a gauntlet beast. He's not particularly great on voyages, but he has a nice uncommon skill set. And Hawk is an amazing Voyager, and he counts for Borg and DV suit. Like, there's ways to go all three ways here.
Gosh,
I don't know which one I would pick.
Let me give another shout out to No Name Namer, who the last about a month or so, he's been helping us working on the big book. He's been spitting out spreadsheets and this and that. One of the ones he put together that I've been consulting quite a lot was about gauntlet crit, a list of all the crew had 45, 65%, etc. Now, Bem does not get a 45% gauntlet set, but keep drinking. I'm already done, so I got to switch to water.
Sorry, Karen.
So crew who appear in the top 5 of proficiency total when you account for crit, Bem is up there in 10 different gauntlet sets. He appears in the top 5. So just to put it in perspective, the names above him in terms of more appearances are Red Angel, Locutus, Armis, Sirach, Kalis, Gary 7, and Bartender Guinan. So he's right up there with like that second level of gauntlet crew. And he's not a crit beast, that's true, but he's got really good rolls, and I really like that splash of med because there are a lot of sex sci crew, Locutus and Gary and Away Team Burnham, etc. But he's the only one with med. In fact, I think he's the only gold with his skill set. So
your nearest competition would be like what, Dareth or Fury Kess? Like Fury Kess, I've been taking into Gauntlet a little while, and she's been doing all right there.
Yeah, but the order is a lot different. So
but
his big psi helps him compete there. I'm probably talking too much about him, but I really do like him.
I kind of have to agree because, like, if you look at the other two, if you look, okay, Stella, apologies, you're the Jadzia obsession, but if you look at Hawk or Jadzia, very good cards in their own right, very good voyage. Hawk is a very good Voyager, Jadzia has a very good event piece. However, they can be replicated in other areas with other crew that you might already have. Bem, like you say, already a very good gauntleteer, and you only need that first star for him to be very useful.
Yeah, he pops the best at 1 star.
Absolutely. If you get the 1 star on Hawk or Jadzia, you won't be using them till you've got much more stars on them, unless you're a very new player. With Bem, you got that first star, level 100 FE. He's useful straight away. He's I believe sec, absolutely amazing.
I actually got like the Keeper not long ago out on my goals, and I was like, oh, this is one I don't actually have to worry about immortalizing because like I'm going to get the most of their use out of that first star. And Gauntlet Crew are a bit of a different proposition. I think Jadzia does have a bit of Gauntlet use because she has like a nice little trait line. They're fairly low rolls, but if you're new in Gauntlet, they can be helpful. But I think I would have to go Bem here.
Definitely, I would say Bem.
So is he better than all the other animated series crew combined?
Yes.
Like April
is the only one.
Eric's
who even come close.
Yeah. Until we get
Aurora has the big sec base. That's about it.
Yeah. He is
because they give. Sorry, go ahead.
No, is it? Nothing.
Uhura has the toss hidden trait.
That's true.
So if by some lightning striking twice chance. We get another TOS bridge crew mega. She should qualify for that rather than
Yeah.
TAS. But
No, that's it. Yeah.
that's-
Rescue Team
that's
Uhura
a whole
is
different
the animated
conversation.
crew series, so she's probably up there with him. She's decent, isn't she? But yeah, for anyone that hasn't watched the anime series, go watch it. It's great. I've really enjoyed it. I'm nearly gonna say I enjoyed it more than the original series, but I'm not gonna make that statement without a little bit more evidence. Anyway, let's spin it again.
Timeline
Say
showdown.
that, Auto will, yeah, no.
Me versus Idol.
Okay, interesting. This is an interesting one. 0 stars on Romulan Data, 0 stars on Rurapenthe Commandant, or 1 star on Lieutenant J.G. Palmer. Now, if I'm going to say this now, if I didn't have
Robin
Killy, well, no, hang on. If I didn't have Killy, if I didn't have Fury Kess, or if I didn't have Garth, or any of the 400%, 6-7 arena amazement, I would take Rurapenthe Commandant without a shout. However, for me, I do, and I know a few other people that don't, that do have them as well. So that is kind of his only one there. I'd probably go Palmer. Because how often have we seen
the crazy person in the room.
how often have we seen data variants lately? Data variant events have just gone down.
Yes, but my counterpoint to that is he has that excellent scene where they're on that Klingon ship and they're cloaked, and Picard is trying to sleep on the Klingon bunk bed, and Data is just staring at him, and he keeps on shooting awkwardly. There you go, that's worthwhile.
I'm pretty sure we thought you were all going to go with the Spock Data scene, this is such a great pivot. It's like 1A and 1B.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just like him just staring at him, like, and he's like, he asked him, he stopped staring at him. He's like, "Oh yes, sir." And he just like he puts his eye level up like that. And it's like,
I'm organizing my files.
Worth taking it for that alone.
Okay. Counterpoint. J.G. Palmer was an actual astronaut. She's been in space. Has Rurapenthe Commandant's actor been in space? No. Well, actually, I don't know that. He might have been.
To die anyway. Why not tell you? No, he is not.
I don't actually know who his actor is, so he could have been in space. Who knows?
That was Ira Gray.
Oh, was that him?
To know him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
To love him is to know him.
Along with the monster hunter, whose name I forget in Voyager, where there's the telepathic picture plant
Nemesis?
and everyone's asleep.
I love that.
With the oh no, I'm thinking the Enterprise episode, aren't I? When they got their goggles and they're hunting. Yeah, okay, no one. Carry on.
Yeah.
That's a different one, yeah.
All right,
You know what? That's a card I want. Ira Graves is a card I'd like. We don't have him yet.
I feel like they're gonna daystrom him and give him like Ensign and make him not very good.
Oh, but he makes androids. Like he's got to be an Ensign med combination, right?
That would make sense.
Well, that's true. You have to have some kind of biological knowledge.
He transfers into data. Like you gotta give it.
Yeah,
no.
Daystrom.
No.
Like,
this is command. This is timelines. It will be N command dip.
I can't have any fun on this show.
All right.
If anything, he wouldn't have dip. He'd have set because he forcibly takes over data. There you go.
We are only barely into the second hour, so as we transition on, this has been a chat light stream after the last 2 weeks. I am curious, people out there in TV land, how many of you guys pulled recap packs for this last mega, and how successful were you? Because I ended up spending more than I meant to, just because Amanda Grayson and T'Pring and Layla are very lovely. So I pulled a lot of packs and ended up with a lot of stars. So I'm wondering, chat, did you pull on the recaps, and did you have any luck with it?
This wasn't Spock's former lovers, was it? This was your former crushes.
No, my current crush.
Oh, if you could see them now.
It's that awkward moment where it's like you turn up to your birthday party and it's like, oh, there's my ex-girlfriend, there's my mum, there's my dad, there's my sister, there's my brother. Oh, that's my other ex-girlfriend. And then there's that one dick I knew in high school, which is Solok.
Why do you think he stole the spacesuit and ejected it far away?
That's why he was trying to erase himself from history.
We've got a lot of 1 recaps and 0 recaps.
Yeah, 1 recap, Zarabeth victory. Say,
Yeah.
Actually, that's,
Zarabeth
she was
episode
the
was
only
good.
purple one.
That was a good episode. I like that one, especially the part where the librarian is pushing Kirk on a trolley for no real reason. 10 packs, 1 Solok from Paul Need. All right, let's spin another Beholder meat, and then we'll talk about the LTOs. Let's go.
All right.
Oh. Okay. 0 stars, Admiral Maxwell Forrest. 0 stars on Fraser Crane, Coffee Extraordinaire. Or 2 stars on Krenim Guest Paris.
Ooh.
Well,
Hold on. Before we jump into this, Paul Need in chat says 10 packs, 1 Solok, which sounds like a former viral video. Never mind. I won't get into it. But I have to point
We're
out
a
that our good buddy-
family-friendly stream. How could you?
are we?
No, this has been like TV14. Our good buddy, Plain Simple Garrick, actually has the first to max on Captain Solok. So congratulations to you,
well
my
done.
friend.
Well done, Garrick.
It's
so
got to be
this is-
Paris, right?
Well, this is the thing. If it was this Beholder, this was my roster, and I had that Paris 2 out of 5, then yeah, it's gonna be Paris because he's diplomat. Paris events out the wazoo. Like he's got a relatively uncommon. He's got the same skill set as Forrest actually, but I don't have that Paris, and I do have Forrest 4 out of 5 from the campaign, and I need 3 more diplomats. If I can get him, and I get a Gorkon and a Laurel, that's diplomat done for me. So on me, that would
Okay.
be Forrest. But in this
was
imaginary
gonna say.
account, it's gonna be Paris.
You think
The
Paris?
intransigent young man. By the way, is this the worst miscarriage of trait justice ever to give him diplomat? He's like sulking and brooding the whole episode. He refuses to work with anyone until like the very end. They're like,
Well,
diplomat.
no, he works with Obrist. He manages to convince Obrist to come over
Yeah,
to his
and
side.
like the
That's
second half
diplomacy.
of the two-parter, like the rest of the time he's throwing glares at Anorax and refuses to help, right?
You just got to spend most of that episode with
Punch-
Janeway's hair
Punch
out
a
of
time
position.
Nazi today. Punch a time Nazi.
So okay. So we've got Paris, 2 stars. He's a diplomat. You've got Forrest. He's 1 stars. 0 stars. He's a diplomat. Who would I take? I'd take Fraser Crane. It's Fraser Crane. Of course it is.
Why?
Why? Okay, from a game point, yeah, it makes no sense. But I'd love that character, and I have passed on Beholds. But I think I would take Forrest again. Future planning. That's another diplomat to get you towards that 60. He is a good card. He's a much better card than a 2 skiller. I think I would go down.
And he's
that
also
route.
one of the best admirals in all of Star Trek. Let's be real.
True, very true. As Action Admiral, that's
Machev?
actually good and not a dick.
Well, he
Machev is
died
a bit of a
saving
dick.
Saval's life and saving Vulcan politics, basically.
Whoa,
Like,
spoiler.
guy's a hero. Yeah, right, a show that ended in 2005.
Sorry for all the
It's still
15-year-olds in
real to
chat.
By the way, if we're gonna meld this,
Spoilers! Spock dies at the end of Wrath of Khan. Don't worry, he gets better.
But then he
we're gonna
dies
ma-
in the fake Wrath of Khan. For real! But his counterpart is alive.
if we're mixing this with real life, Seska this week is a nearly identical voyage score, command primary, same skill set. So I'm just going to put that out there. Maybe you don't need him if you pick up Seska this week.
Okay. So this
I have
week's...
both. Can't I have a bit of Maxwell Forrest on the side and a little bit of Seska there?
Listen,
Is that
I'm
not
not going to
the
tell you how to live your
usual
life.
No. You only send one voyage crew out at a time. Everybody knows that.
Absolutely, yeah. There's only one slot.
I'm mixing my metaphors here far too much. This week's limited time offer crew, we have Interface Barclay and Delta Flyer Torres. Shall we talk about the other Barclay in the room? Interface Barclay, quite an old card, I believe. He's one of the original ones. Legendary command engineering Psi. Still a bit of a powerhouse in his right, but I believe time has worn him down somewhat.
It has, but he still gets 45% gauntlets where he can punch above his weight a little bit. I'm using him right now, and he can knock a block off of a caretaker or even a mirror Jean-Luc Picard if you get the right matchup. I quite like him. I don't know how many people he would voyage for. Again, in Command Eng is a bit of a sticky subject once you get out of the good ones. But
No, but if you're talking about gauntlet use and you're getting a 45%, that 1 star is all you need.
yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Is a case of And especially, I love that episode. The art is also very good. This is one I'd absolutely take just for the fun of it. I'm kind of tempted by it as it is now because I have him 4 out of 5. I could finish him. But,
Isn't it wild how we don't see Barclays very much, but he's in an event and he's an LTO? Like, what are the odds?
I don't understand what you're saying. Are you saying it's some kind of coincidence?
The stars have aligned this week. Yeah, as DC Pilot, former number 2 faction event winner in chat points out, they are up for another 20-ish hours this week. So they have reverted after last week. They cut it a day short. This time they're still up. So yes, he has 4 different 45% trait sets. And as the Red Angel starts to proliferate, you see a lot of her out there for psi only roles, kind of like how you would see Locutus for dip only roles. So he could snipe a Caretaker's engineering, he can snipe Red Angel's science. So he's not going to be on a 99% chance to win crew like some of these monsters are, but he has enough trait sets that you can bring him from time to time.
Yeah,
Outside of that,
he does fatigue quite quickly as well. But the fact of the matter is, like, oh god, I do say it every week I say it. I didn't do the health like this time. He fatigues quite quickly, but in the end, you can't really be picked about who you take, especially in case of if you don't have Red Angel like I don't. You have to get your engineering gauntlet crew where you can, really.
Namer in chat points out he's a 4-year-old card. He's a better Voyager than A.G. Robbins.
More useful as well. I think he counts the innovator, and he's
yeah.
You could think about the amount of dilithium you would have to spend to get A.G. Robinson, whereas, there he is.
Barclay's right there. Yeah,
Barclay's right there, and he is an event piece.
So he's a prodigy. How many people are pulling for Prodigy Mega just so they can pull all of their Wesleys out of cryostasis?
Hopefully, no one.
Bold of you to assume I have any.
I was going to say. Airlock
that
on
would be
site.
another Professor Sato Mega, by the way.
Oh, yeah, well, that's good.
Every Mega is a Professor Sato Mega if it's got a single faction in it.
That's a good optimistic phrase. Every Mega is a Professor Sato Mega. You'd have that on your wall. I'd have that tattooed just there.
That's how you identify the real Mega.
Every Mega is a Wesley Mega if you think about it.
I don't think that's got legs. Gentlemen, I'm curious.
Well, neither does Pike.
I love Milana. I think she's great.
Okay.
I think one of the underrated parts of Voyager. Sell me on Delta Flyer Torres. Should I grab her at 1 out of 5? Because I'm kind of tempted.
This was Idle's turn to sell you on her, and he just left. Well, now we got to pull up her stats. I think we've waxed quite a bit about that episode. And probably most people with significant others or married people out there know the trials and tribulations of trying to balance, friends and
what you did there.
Friends and hobbies and work with relationships. So this is such a great episode, mostly because Siaya Batten is in it as Irina. And we have I guess 4 crew now. We have the 3 in the Delta Flyer uniform and Arena. Maybe they do a tiny little vanity. I don't know. I'm still holding on hope just because those uniforms are so snazzy. Beyond that, I mean, it's kind of hard to sell her beyond she has the requisite stats for daily use. Like she has a good enough base. Like ranks aside, they're close enough. You could use that Eng base quite a bit. You could use her on Voyages quite a bit. She's almost identical to determined Janeway on Voyages, which obviously the difference is the free stars. But people have been using her every day for years since they got it. A year and a half at this point. So she's nearly identical. Torres doesn't have a ton of variants you want to invest in. She has like a bunch of 2 skillers and older poor cards among her variants. So I mean, this is not a crew I would spend $10 on to get stars 1 through 4, but maybe to finish, maybe for the whimsy and for me especially for the episode. I like her, but she's more middle of the road I think than everything, which is not terrible if you really like the crew.
So I'm going to say that phrase that everyone, you guys and we all hate, but they had the 490s come up, and I had a couple of stars, and I pulled the rest of the stars, and she makes voyages for me. But no, you are right. She's just kind of got the middle of the road sort of use. But Ensek is there with most of the best of them, but she'll get work if you can get her up there.
Yeah, the only reason I asked is because I had a few instances, especially I think there was a Janeway event recently where I was like, oh, actually now I don't have determined Janeway to just slot into Ensek. It's like, oh, who am I going to put in here? And it's like, and I was thinking, well, you know what? I like Torres. She hasn't got, as you say, she got duelist Torres, who I think was one of the first goals I got. She's still sitting 1 out of 5 and probably will until the end of the game. And like you say, the uniform snazzy, it's a great episode, and I was just thinking about it, but I remain unconvinced. I'll have a day to think about it.
Well, like Woods points out in chat, this is the best. She's his best legendary Taurus. I mean, you can argue with the 1-star's collection value, but she's probably the best Taurus overall. So if you have an affection for the character, like I know Skycap does, this is the one that you want to pick up for sure.
I mean, if you're still sleeping on finishing your commons, Chief Engineer Torres fills quite a couple of collections if you're missing those, which, Jury Rigger and the other one. But yeah.
Is this your way of segueing into talking about Nightmare Mode?
Oh, I'm so close. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly on greens. I've nearly finished every common crew without having to touch a green yet. But we'll get there. I'm planning to have a section on it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Me and
I like how we tease these things for like 3 months in a row.
We do. No. This will be the show that I have a long-time listener, zero-time caller, Jen Osadanian on. So we'll both be talking about Nightmare Mode at some point, I'm sure. You guys finished talking about it, or do I need to go away again?
No,
What does Torres repel you that much? Like, what?
No, I love the character.
Can we, for the audience's sake, Idle, can you peel back the curtain a little bit, because we've worked together, chatted together for what has it been, over a year now? A little bit over a year. And dude, you put in more work on various resources and stuff. Like, I'll be looking through the forums one day, and I'll look through some thread that I've never seen before, and it's about some esoteric, some weird random thing, and I'll see Idle post, oh yeah, I've worked up this 14-page spreadsheet for it. Here are 500 crew available that I've all worked. Here's all the images I sourced, and I'm like, where the hell do you find the time? So in the vein of Torres's episode, how do you balance this deep obsession with Star Trek and home life?
It comes with having a job that involves sitting in front of a computer that doesn't have limited internet access, basically. So, and I have the time to do it, and this is like, it is a hobby. With some people say, I had a period in my job when it got slow. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to torture myself even more. I'm going to look at spreadsheets, and lo and behold, I actually found out I really enjoyed it. And as I've said before on this podcast, on this show before, this game was a gateway into sort of getting me invested in all that. And I genuinely enjoy it, and I've generally been scraping things and just trying to peel back all those layers. And, it's almost investigative. It's fun. It's addictive. And, as some people know, I've got a family, I've got a couple of kids, and, you sort of trying to balance all that with the job, and it's, you got to do it. Plus the fact I'm moving home soon is always, it's always a balance. But I just enjoy. I make time for it, and yeah, I do. And this is, I don't actively play any other games with lockdown and blooming coronavirus happening around the world. I've had a lot more time over the last 6 months to do this kind of thing than ever before. So I think that plays into it. Once we can all go out and play, then I'll be like, hey, outside world, vitamin D, fantastic.
I kind of wanted to break in there and be like, here's my child Taz, and here's my other child Toss.
The children won't be making an appearance for a while. I've been trying to get them into Star Trek actually I'm very happy they're releasing Star Trek Prodigy, which if few people haven't heard of it, is the Nickelodeon series, which is going to be aimed at younger children. That features Kate Mulgrew as Catherine Janeway in again. So I'm very happy that I can.
This is cartoon, right?
Sorry. Yes,
Cartoon,
I
right?
think it's
Animated?
animated CG, something like that. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be CG animated. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something that I know because Lower Decks I can't because it's a bit too graphic at times.
It's a bit
just
racy.
is a bit much. But I'm pretty sure if they're aiming at younger children, then I can set my kids down and get them into Star Trek. So and that's the link. It's getting them there.
No Remick heads exploding in that.
No. What are we talking about?
On behalf of myself, I'm sure Stars and the viewers, we appreciate your dedication to the hobby.
Thank you very much. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. Which I think is the key. And again, starting the show and doing everything, I did it because I wanted to do it. I thought for years, like years and years, I thought, I want to do a podcast. I listen to so many podcasts. I want to do a podcast. I want to do a show or some sort of streaming thing. And I'm thinking, I've got nothing to talk about. Like, I've got nothing I want to actually talk about until this game came along. And then I met you guys, and I was just like, we've got loads to talk about. Let's do it. We can talk crap about this game for hours. Let's do it.
Yeah,
But no.
for context, dear viewers, we have a list of things and segments that we want to do.
Oh,
and
we've got
every
so
week
much.
we're
The
we're
list
oh, I have
grows.
so little to talk about. We can
But-
slot in here, and then new collection drops.
But
new
do you-
event,
do you know
new
what?
mega,
Right.
New mega event, and it's like, oh, God.
You mentioned that. But this would be for nothing. This would be for nothing if it wasn't for the people that were coming in for chat every week, the people who are viewing the show every week. It wouldn't be for the people who are using my spreadsheets or for you guys who are using the big book and providing feedback, because essentially, you guys and myself, we're all providing something for the players, and if people didn't feedback, we'd be nothing. So we'd be nothing without the people that view the show. So thank you everyone that comes to the show. Thank you everyone that uses the big book and the spreadsheets. Essentially, that is kind of a little bit more important than... if no one used it, we wouldn't do it. If you see what I'm saying.
Thanks out there to everyone who liked, comment, and subscribe.
I try not to say that. I hate that. It's like and subscribe, but no.
If
Oh,
only they
so
knew
it's
the ad
cringy,
revenue
this-
we're pulling in.
Well, no, that's exactly why I don't do that kind of thing. I don't monetize. I don't put any kind of revenue. I don't do a Patreon or anything like that, because we all do this. I'm going to speak for you guys here. I hope you feel the same, but we all do this because we love doing it, because we want to do it, because we want to talk about Star Trek. We want to talk about the game. We want to make these things for our own hobbies because it's fun. And I think as soon as we introduce money into the equation, it kind of sours it. So I would rather not, unless they turn around with six-figure figures, and then I kind of go, "Hi, welcome to our sponsors, whoever,
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes. So yes.
So
Anyway,
a small
humbled
unofficial
me.
poll to the humbling viewers. We've talked on and off about maybe doing a weekend stream, not in place of, but just maybe every couple months, just with all the overflow of the segments that we can't get to during the week. Would you guys like to see a stream not necessarily about the game, but just about personal stuff, how we got into Star Trek, how you got into Star Trek, episode discussion, that kind of thing? I mean, it wouldn't be anything necessarily that we do regularly, but maybe a one-off, I think would be fun to learn more about you
Yeah.
guys and to learn more about our viewers. So, and be honest, because if you're like, no, I'm going to duck out for that, then you're safe to say that too. But
oh, absolutely.
I
I
think
mean,
we're big enough nerds to do that.
hell yeah, definitely. I mean, we've workshopped loads of other ideas. We've been sort of playing around a little bit with Star Trek Adventures and things like that, and just I would love watch-alongs or general Star Trek chat. I just saw Rockfish just post no.
I salute your honesty.
Fine.
Get up.
Look, you spreadsheet monkey. What rank is he? That's all I want to know.
But no, I think that would be fun. I think that'd be great. I think we had you look at sort of a couple of Fridays ago. It was me, Stars, and Big. We had our sort of pack opening, but we talked just general chat about Trek and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed that night. Just sort of a chill, sort of more social stream. I think that'd be great.
The blue game.
Yes, and the blue game. Yes, we will have to come back to that when we get some packs.
I love the blue game. Blue game's my favorite.
All right.
Now, I think we have one last thing before we finish, which I believe is the Honor Suicide.
Oh, we should come back across that. Yes, please.
Hold on. Do you have that drop? I didn't tell you to get it ready.
I have the drop.
I love honor. I demand honor.
There you go. Oh, that's never not going to be funny.
Wait, so what are we doing?
I don't know. You're talking about the Honor Suicide Pact you were doing last week. You had a whole thing about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we wanted to follow up. Well, let's start with former number 2 faction event winner DC Pilot.
Oh,
because-
former.
Well, you know.
Well,
it's-
true,
He
true,
didn't
true.
win it last week. He's old news by now. But he did take the plunge.
He comes on the show and he's the loveliest individual. We just dunk on him excessively. Like, what
Wait,
the hell?
hold on. I'm about to bring it back. So he Ubermensch that he is has immortalized. He threw his honor at the winner of last week's poll, who you guys voted for, and he immortalized Chef Riker, who
actually
Riker ends up picking up, but not the best statistical card out there.
No, but you know, we've talked much about, you know, Sight for Love, and again, he is right on the top of my Sight for Love pile. And I think DC, you beat me to it, but yeah, he is finally added to his immense Riker collection and put Chef Riker on there. I don't know. I think you get a lot of work out of Chef Riker. I think he's got enough
Probably.
with a certain amount of sort of like, you know, certain roster of crew that would make use of him. Certainly.
So I believe
Well, as my follow-up, so I believe Nechayev is what, my 6th Immortals Goldstone. She's been making a few voyage runs. I did take her to one gauntlet where she only did okay. She was at 25%, but it's a catch-22. If you do it early enough on in your roster, they'll do more work than they should do, but it does handicap you a little bit. Whatever. I was happy to do it. I swear.
he says
And
that. Yeah, I know you swear. Yeah.
and so she's put in enough work for me that, you know, she'll do work for the foreseeable future.
Who was on our stars? Who was on our site? I can't actually remember.
Now,
who did I have?
Captain
Oh, you
Idols
have
pulled up.
mine here.
Oh, I'm prepared.
Oh,
By the way,
okay,
the
okay.
votes came down to, the votes are 5, 5, 6, and 6. So it couldn't have been any closer for your vote, Captain Idol. And so the finalists are Evie Sutnan at 2 of 5 and Dr. Ann Mulhall at 1 of 5. Now,
Okay.
I've been waiting to pay you back for this. So I have my coin.
Hang on, pay me back for what? You were the one
For-
that made me take Trelane.
Anyone else's coin would have got me a Shariar, but your coin got me Admiral Nechayev.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to return the favor
All right,
now.
all
You
right,
have
all
Evie
right.
Sutnan and Dr. Ann Mulhall. So we'll put Nan as heads, Mulhall as tails, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm going to flip.
I'm going to call heads. You just drop it on the floor.
Amazing.
You got to call it on the floor.
Let's go ahead.
Professionalism.
It is Evie Sutnan
Yes!
at 2 of 5.
Okay. I'm happy
And
with
I
that.
promised I was going to lie about it and make you cite Ann Mulhall, and I
No, I'm happy with Nan. I mean, Nan
Too
would be...
honest for your own good.
So
Very
Nan would have been
timely sight.
even sweeter had I not already completed the EV suit collection already. But never mind. No, she's a good crew. I'm happy with that. I like the
For the
character.
expansion.
True.
Don't worry.
That's true. That's true. She's a good crew. She's a good
And
crew.
she'll get variants. So,
So
you,
this-
you can do it.
This Patach refuses to burn his honor. He's going to wait until the next sale and use the sites then.
If we get another honor sale, I have to, you know, those 40k awesome beholden a site, you know, it's just too. I've got to save for it. I can't just burn honor right now. Plus,
that is going to be the best stream ever. 'Cause
Plus-
we're all going to save our honor for that.
oh, we totally are. That's going to be a big honor spend. But
we're going
you
to
know,
be so smashed by the end.
oh, if we're not seeing blue lights on the street, no, I shouldn't say that. Guys,
Four lights on the stream.
I believe we're done. Let's just look at the show notes. I believe we're done. Should we do a beholder meter to see us out?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it. Let me just turn this screen off. Buttons.
If I see 4-star Geordie again.
All right, stars. Give me the sound.
Shall I?
Yes, please. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. None of these have stars on them. So Musketeer Laforge,
Okay.
Prince Bashir, Desert Georgeur.
Mm.
That is interesting. Prince Bashir, infamously now, he has been topped by Khalees, milkshake extraordinaire, as being the superior replacement.
I don't know. I quite like Brins Bashir and the Gauntlet still. I think it's a triple collection crew as well, which is pretty nice.
Giorgio is a diplomat.
I did use Bashir this week to moderate effect. The command med is not so easy to stack, so he does okay there. I think probably top 3 art. Early on, my favorite crew outside of Kalis was Musketeer LaForge. He has that incredible jaunty hat. He's got the sword, you know, the feather. It's a great look, great art. Very versatile crew, like collections, gauntlet, events. Used to have much better voyage power, so I really like him. My fleet talked me out of taking him for Protomorphosis Wharf, and I regretted it ever since. Which I know Stars won't agree with, but
Well, no, even I'll be like, you know what? I can't even fight for because Protomorphosis Wolf is my least favorite wolf of them all because he's weird mutant wolf, but
he's an Uggo.
not Uggo. He's just a beautiful in a different fashion.
And then of course the triple collection crew in Giorgio. So it's musky for me. But
You think?
what about you guys?
I love Giorgio. I've got this Giorgio as well, but I think if I was playing for gameplay and I had no one else, I would probably go LaForge or Bashir. But it's that's a real tough one. There's pretty much merits to every one of them, but I don't know. I can't decide.
I go Bashir just because I have like good like feelings about. I think I finished him off for the previous on the Silver Side Pact actually, and he's done quite well for me.
Yeah. Skycap says Sid's birthday is the 21st, I believe. So happy birthday, Alexander Siddig, when it comes. We can say that again next week because it's not that far away. But hey.
So,
I wonder if we'll get one of those lovely little packs where it's like I miss those birthday.
We
packs
haven't had
where
one
it's
in a
like
while,
Bring
have
back the
we?
birthday packs.
Yeah, the birthday packs are great. I quite enjoyed
I'd
that.
actually pull on that one as well because it's like you'd have like Mirror, Bell Riots, and Prince, and it's like I need stars.
Wait, hold on. It's 10:59 and 55 seconds. If you do one more behold roll now, we'll get it in under the hour. Go.
Okay, come on, God. Oh, there we
Are you
go.
going to scan us in?
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, 0 stars on this week's LTO Interface Barclay, 0 stars on Chef Extraordinaire Joseph Sisko, 0 stars on Colonel Q.
Well, that's got to be a slam dunk for Barkley, right?
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Want some gauntlet for Joseph? No, he gets a 45 crit, but...
Colonel Q was one of the last faction prizes before right before they added requisition shuttles, I want to say. Because someone won his event with like 2.5 million. And that's like the score for like top 500 now in skirmishes. So nobody wanted him.
Yeah. No. Okay, question. Like, this is a more interesting question. We know who this beholder you're going for: Joseph Sisko or Admiral Cartwright.
Oh, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place on that one.
Hey, there we go. I put him down, you pick him up.
How quick was that? Jesus Christ.
All right, Skycap says reroll.
Yeah, reroll. We're going. Let's do another.
We're like the Godfather. She's the Godfather. We can't refuse her request.
We'll get her back. A couple of weeks, we'll have Prime Lines talks. Interesting. Okay, 1 star on Itana Joel, 4 stars on Klingon Bride Janzia, 3 stars on Tempted Data.
All right, I'm counting the seconds until Stellar Ice shows up in chat.
Yeah, waiting for it.
Well, I might actually beat her to it because.
That might. It's got to be Janzia for me. Finish it. So, you've got
the collateral damage. When they added Red Angel to the game, they added a couple trait sets, including some undercover operative ones. Itana Joel now has a 65% crit gauntlet trait set. She's pretty good there, but we've already got her first star, so.
Indeed.
Yeah, the problem is she's pretty good, but it's Red Angel and then Power Gap everyone else, where it used to be you were viable, but.
Lot of Janzia from chat.
It just makes sense. Like,
it does.
Everyone is Dex except for Rockfish, who doesn't want to know about our personal lives, so we don't care about your Itana Joel pick. It's a slam dunk for Jetsy.
She's been good.
I'm kidding, my friend. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Here's a question for you. Why does Tempted Data not count as Borg?
He never got
It's the
assimilated.
one-
He got tempted to assimilation.
He's half human. He's half human there.
But
He's
he-
more Borg than the one Law.
Well, okay, yeah, I suppose.
I still want determined pairs to have Klingon though, because see, like this is a Klingon
you
culture
don't-
thing,
yeah.
right?
I'd be happy
Okay,
with that.
so
I'd be
we
really
have
glad.
we have Jadzia there, who I think has the Klingon trait because
She
she
does.
is
100%.
because she's immersed in the culture and she's doing the Klingon
She's a
bride
member
stuff.
of the House of Martok now, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so come on, he
Well.
can give it to Paris. He's wielding the batleth. He's answering the honored challenge.
He's
Sorry,
willing
hang on,
to
hang on.
back
The-
that he wants
Wait,
to know what love
shush.
is.
Hang on, the what
I
challenge?
love honor. I demand honor.
Sorry, there you go.
By the way, when they add her character, the lower decks swinging the batleth to the game, you think
Mariner,
she'll have the
yeah.
Klingon trait?
Nah.
Yeah. Well, she is
She's not
pally.
Maverick, though. She'll be a
s-
Maverick.
Spoilers for episode 2 of Lower Deck. She is very pally with a Klingon. So you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I so want to
She's
talk
your
spoilers.
chatty-
When we get in about 3 months' time, we're gonna have the Lower Decks Disco Season 3 expose episode, but because I don't want to spoil this soon after.
I have to admit, I would love like a Lower Decks and then Discovery Season 3 mega intertwined.
Oh,
So you have,
that
like,
would be good.
Lower Decks animation
Yeah.
style Mariner talking to Burden. I think that'd be hilarious.
She turns sideways and
I
disappears.
demand honor! And then Burnham's like, what the hell?
Or you could have Tendi and Stamets. That would be a good mix.
That'd be fun.
Actually, it's Tilly as Tendi essentially.
Yeah, you know what? Make the mega just casual theme, and then everyone's just
Yeah.
hanging out and having fun for the mega. No, we need to stop Spock from rewriting history. No, the Dominion's back again. Everyone's just hanging out and having
Yeah, Tendi's
Every-
like, I've just made a dog that can turn into a cube.
Yeah, everything is quiet in the universe, so people get together and just play Dabo together for the whole event. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
why not?
Have you guys finished Lower Decks yet?
No.
no,
Come on!
I'm.
You're killing me.
Well, I mean,
I need to talk to you guys about this.
all right, when we do that weekend stream or pack opening stream, whatever, then you can spoil people. Then
All right. Okay, last one. One more behold, and we'll.
All right,
We'll call
one
it.
more.
I have a bedtime, guys.
Aw. Okay.
No, actually, I'm just gonna do big book stuff after this. Who am I kidding?
Gonna tear until the sun comes up. Okay. 2 stars, Imprinted Archer. 1 star, Agent Janeway. 0 stars on Torpedo McCoy. Oh,
So, do you guys know that '60s song? I think it's '60s. Secret Agent Man. Secret Agent Man.
Agent Man. Yeah, they played that in Austin Powers 1. Yeah, I know that's.
I was like 17 before I realized it wasn't Secret Asian Man.
oh my god.
Just no, the way he sings it, that's what it sounds like. There's no enunciation on the T. So when you said that, it sounded like Asian Janeway. I'm thinking, what episode is that?
Oh, R.I.P. our email inbox. Guys.
It's gotta be McCoy.
It has to
Easy
be
one, right?
McCoy. Although,
I'd
I
give
could
real money if he'd shut up. That's what everyone in our chat is saying right now.
Uh-huh.
I am one of those crowd that would, very conscious of my crew slots that would either put it on Archer or Janeway. Janeway would probably be the safer shout because of her sheer event usage, but as good as McCoy is, I do have him at 2 stars. Again, if I had him at 5 or 5, I'm not sold on him as other people are.
Thank
Well,
you.
he's a good
Thank you,
event.
Andy Harding. I'm now the only one that hears Secret Asian Man. Thank you.
Well, Skycat points out apparently there's a ska band in St. Louis called Secret Cajun Band.
Oh, that is good. Yeah, I like that.
All right, are we still doing that thing where if you take Archer or Janeway, you also get 300 dilithium with it?
think
I
we
kind
have
of
to.
like that idea.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't want to get stuck
Like,
with
if
270
you-
Voyager imprinted Archer. That's gross.
Well, you could take Janeway. I mean,
Let's-
if
okay.
you skip the first star on a crew, you get 300 dil. That's a good
Okay.
compensation, right?
Torpedo McCoy, since he's come out, we have had Medic Jet Reno, we have had Nanoprobe Phlox, we have had a little bit of an Eng-Med renaissance come out with various crew. He does have the damage multiplier on him, but he's, again, his engineering is a tertiary. He is not as, I don't know, I never found the hype with him.
The hype is the fact that he comes from one of the best Star Trek
Okay, yes, fair enough. Okay, amazing card for his art and his significance, but from gameplay use.
I argued when he came out that he is better than people think, because he was like Voyage, like just right under 100. He was like Voyage 103 or something. And people are like, oh, he's garbage. Look at those numbers. And I lobbied for him pretty hard, but now he's 70 ranks lower. And like you said, we have had a lot of Eng-Med. Most people, most veterans playing have a much better McCoy, which lops 1 med seat off of your faction events. So
what you're telling me is I only need to fill 1 seat in a faction McCoy event.
there's not a lot of med seats.
No.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely not. And a McCoy thing is all sex seats, definitely.
I might take Janeway there, but that's tough.
Well,
McCoy's far from useless. That's for sure.
No, if you
Skycat
don't,
points out the Gordian knot like cutter here, which is you can just airlock Bathja for 1100 on around slot anyway.
True, you could if you're very ruthless with your. Oh, I just can't. Just airlocking gold still feels.
I don't know. Printed Arch is one of the ones I could probably justify. What you know? What? Here's another quandary about collections.
Here's
Why
Zindi.
doesn't he count as Zindi?
Oh no, he
Why
doesn't,
isn't he-
does he? He's not in
He
that
doesn't,
collection.
No, he's not.
Ah, shit.
Zindi Prisoner Archer
Why
doesn't
doesn't
count
he?
for it.
There you go.
If anyone should, it should be imprinted because he's actually a little bit genetically in Zindi in that episode, I believe. Zindi Prisoner,
true.
he's got it in the name, but that one's real baffling.
So, Wood says, I really like Torpedo McCoy in Arena. I like him for his accuracy boost and some instant damage, but that's fully fused, so he needs the best accuracy boost. But, accuracy and the damage boost, I could see the appeal for that. But if you are, the killy crowd, or got the 400% booms.
You can't fully fuse without taking the first star.
You
or as
cannot.
Big McLarge used to say, you can't steal first base.
You cannot.
True.
So,
True.
how many non-duplicate? Because I know, Idle, you've ditched a few. How many non-duplicate golds have you guys airlocked?
Me, none.
Back a while ago, I think it was about a year ago, I had a bit of a purge because I was low on crew slots, and I weighed up, and I airlocked Phoenix Cochrane. I airlocked, what's her name?
Gary
Sato?
7?
No.
Oh, Professor Sato.
No,
Yeah,
not
good choice.
Professor Sato, the other Sato. Lokek Sato. Lokek Sato.
Okay.
And I airlocked Gunslinger Uhura, who I now have immortalized, so I don't regret that one. Because she came up free in the Behold, and that was my 5th star, so I'm quite happy I airlocked her at that time. But yeah, those are the only 3 golds, apart from dupes, that I've had that I've airlocked. And I've had a fair few dupes.
And the thing is, Otto has to ask us this question, because I know for a fact that he's airlocked. How many did you airlock on that account that you burned?
Well, no, that's different. I mean, other than switching accounts wholesale, I've never airlocked a gold, and I've been this close on Silva LaForge. She's so bad.
I am
and she
very
has that Explorer trait, and I'm like, if there's an
Oh.
Explorer Mega, I might use her on my 18th shuttle. I just want that Mega so I can get on my holy pulpit and say airlock Silva LaForge right after the Mega event.
Rockfish says I airlocked a 3-star armor. So yeah, Gauntlet doesn't count. You've probably had about 20 of those. I am very close to airlocking Linus Paris, who I got in recaps. And
She gets a 65% gauntlet. Come on, how
yeah,
can
but
you
for
airlock?
what? For what? At like
These
three,
and other
three
useless facts.
proficiency.
I know.
Revenant Lord gets the 65% gauntlet, guys!
Hey, have you seen his Eng proficiency? Don't knock it.
He is strong.
Guys, I think it's time we stopped talking about Linus's 65% gauntlet and went to bed. So
At the point,
next week we're going to be celebrating our 6 months. I'm hoping I'm going to whip up us a quick Shades of Grey style clip show. We'll have the best of the bullshit we've been talking about.
Surprise, you
Oh,
dick.
well, all
You
right.
turn off all of our viewers by saying that.
Oh, we'll have some
We're
fun.
gonna try to recreate the worst Trek show in history.
Hey, listen, we have this is our profession. We've been taking the worst of Trek and turning it
we're
into
gonna
fantastic
recreate the
results.
worst Trek episode ever. Then you will have no vaccine and no Lieutenant John.
Okay, for the 3 Code of Honor fans out there who have now tuned out, I'm gonna say
Good.
it's
They can leave.
My favorite episode.
yeah. I'm gonna say that's
When
good.
do I get Troy confirming that y'all likes being kidnapped? Where's that card?
Oh god. All right. Hey, if Secret Asian Man didn't get us fired, that thread will get us fired.
Oh my god.
You
Next week we'll have some new
friend,
hosts.
Troy.
Oh no, we need to leave.
And on that note,
Gone
it
too
is
far.
goodbye from me, goodbye from these 2 Muppets, and we will see you next week for another fantastic episode of Timelines Talks. Thank you everyone that came tonight. We will see you next week.